Yo, 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 what's up? This is Stone from Judge Innovation Garage in the Peach. I don't know what I think, baby. No. My boy. Dang, go! Let's see. Turbo heater running. Oh yeah, the wood stove, boys. She's a pumping. I got a fan on over there circulating the heat. Get the filter out. Get the filler out, no hammers. You want to cave and pave it? You want to cave and pave it? What's up? We can cave and pave it. We can cave and pave it if you want to. And I mean, we might have. That sun gun right there's bright. Look, if I turn these lights out, look. We'll leave them out for right now. We'll give it just a few minutes to let everybody. Woo. Everybody get in here. Then we're gonna get after it. I'm gonna try to do it pretty quick. Pretty quick. I've already did a little bit of stuff before it started. Get about 2 more minutes. We're gonna go time. Hey, look, if nobody's seen the reel, look at this daggone Cadillac converter. I can barely see. I can see. We're gonna see what it does. Crackhead be starved to death for that thing. We got 7 people. Platy pot. There probably ain't nothing in it. It said it was not available to sell in California, Nevada, Colorado. There's like 10 or 11 states that you couldn't even buy it in. Couldn't even buy it. North Carolina was one of them. I mean, they sent it here. But I looked at it. That's a Cadillac converter of that size was like the cheapest I could get one at AutoZone was $100, my cost. And that thing less than 28 bucks. And we're not emissions, but when I seen the price of it, I was like, might as well stick one on anyway. You know what I mean? It'll quieten it down. Hold on, let me let this cat out. I'm coming off. Okay. Come on. I'm gonna turn this fan off. All right. Let's see who's here. John, you know California would be one. I don't see why anyone would live. That's holding a 3 inches of snow. Man, you can keep that crap, man. You can keep it. We can keep it. We keep it. Y'all wanna see my light rack that I made? I'll show you that. So this, I made this out of some scrap tubing. So this is a light rack. These are some Walmart. These are, I mean, I got light, but you can't never have enough light, right? So this is scrap metal. I mean, out of the bone pile, throw together. Got some hooks on it, whatnot. These are Walmart LED lights. And what I did, this is the same concept. What I was telling you I was gonna do to my table. This drop cord, the end was messed up, but it was a good drop cord, but the end was messed up. So what I did was, I cut it, and I put one of the drop cord into that receptacle, wired it up, put another one in that receptacle, because I already had the receptacles. right? Since I already had them, I just used them, wired it up, and then these lights come with plugs. So I just plugged there, and this one runs this one. And I also put a piece of angle right there, drilled a hole, put a nylon lock nut on it, and then tighten it up just a little bit so I can move, like I can move it down, I can move it up, you know what I mean? Like, so, Ray, I don't want nothing. I want sunshine and 75-degree weather. That's what I want. All right, so this is a pretty gnarly dent, right? But the whole concept of this is budget, okay? Budget. So let's say that you got a good fender. Your fender's good, right? But it's got a bad dent, and I'm telling you, that's a gnarly one. That's a big dent, right? Don't let the that's a bad dent because it's in a body line, it's above the body line, it's below the body line. It's bad. Now this is a brand new fender, and it got kinked right there too. So what we're gonna do, let's say this was on your truck, you had this dent here, right? And you didn't have the money to buy a new fender because they're not cheap. And you couldn't find a good fender, but this is the only thing that was wrong with your fender is you had a bad dent. So let me show you what you can do. All right. Let me set this right here. Hey, look, I tried to go live. I tried to go live today with that little DG camera, and it didn't. It went live, but it never went live, if that makes sense. And then I looked and seen. I tried to watch a couple videos, and then 87 SS Boy said that Tulu has already figured it out. So maybe I need to get with him, and he can show me how to. Because I linked it to my phone. And done all that stuff, but it went live, but the screen went blank and nothing ever showed up on YouTube. So this is the best we're gonna do right now. All right, so if you can take the fender off, that's a whole lot better, and then we don't have to cave and pave, right? Cave and pave means just sand it down, put some filler on it, sand it. Well, you don't want to use filler if you can get. You want to keep it less than like 3/16 thick, right? So we talked the other day about how to read a tape measure, blah, blah, blah. But see, there's already holes. There's holes already in this thing, right? You got access points, different things, different reasons, whatever, right? I tell you one thing, I'm going to kill that fly. Go ahead and land. I'm going to squash you like Kendrick did Drake. What I told you. I told you I was going to squash him like Kendrick did Drake. Oh, nasty thing. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this day. How to kill blowflies. All right. So it's got holes everywhere, right? For different things, right? These are clips for the inner fenders. You got holes right here for the core support. Just different things, right? This is for your hood hinges. Blah, 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 blah. Well, what I did is I took a Harbor Freight. That's a Harbor Freight step bit. I looked and seen where the dent was at. And I kind of got an idea where it was at. This is like PDR. I drilled a hole there, and I drilled a hole there. It ain't gonna make no difference. You ain't gonna see it, all right? And if it bothers you, you can get a little plug and put in it, right? See this little thing right here? Yeah, a step bit, unibit, ever how you want to call it. Yep, unibit, step bit. That's what I used right there. So I got this little thing right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the camera back up there and I'll show you. So I'm gonna put this in here like that. It has a blunt end, right? Has a blunt end, right? It's not sharp, right? And I'm going to take this little hammer right here and I'm gonna tappity tap, tap, tap. And I'm gonna try to ask, that's A-S-K, ask. I'm gonna ask that dent to go back where it needs to go, all right? All right, so I'm gonna set this up right here, and then I'm gonna show you. So like I said, first one's right. Y'all see it? Y'all see that sun gun right there? She's gnarly, right? So I'm gonna try to start right here, and I'm gonna kind of tap, 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 see if I can get that bulge. Cause see, it's actually here too. It's here. It goes like this. Right, it was hit here, so it kinked it and it pushed it up, right? So, and if you don't want to take your fender off, you don't want to take your fender off, you can cave and pave it, but if you take it off, you'll be able to get to it. Oh yeah, see, it's already out right there. So if we go past, that's okay. We can take it and tap it back. All right, so we got that out. Now when you go over here, it's a little high, but it's okay. We can tap it back. We're getting there. We're getting there, boys and girls. We're getting there. Let me get something else. You don't want to get crazy with it because you don't want to punch a hole. You know what I mean? You don't want to punch a hole. So I need to go right there in the middle. Go down. We're getting there. We need to go right there. And I'm going. So we gotta go down. Oh yeah. Oh. We're getting there. And get up there on the top. All right. That looks like a lot of dents. All right, so we're getting there. See, this dent, you can still see, we're not worried about that. I can get that out. But you see, there's the bottom of it right there, right? There's the crown of it. This is still low. So I need to come down right here in that valley right there. See that? We need to kind of ask that to come up. I'm not really worried about these little ones right yet. We'll get that in a second. And then if you look right here on the body line, right there, it's dumped in a little bit. So I'm hoping if we get more of this out, it will relieve the pressure and it will let that shrink back, right? All right, so that's where we at, all right? That's where we at. So if I've been hitting right there, turn this thing around. I need some light now. Now we cooking with gas. Somebody's probably gonna say, man, that's overkill, man. I'd have never took my fender off to fix that dent. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. If you don't want to take it off, don't take it off. Just cave and pave it. But if you want to take it off, the less dent you have, the less filler you have. And if I could get behind it with a dolly, I could rip. If I had a long spoon dolly, I could really get it out. But it don't happen. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking this pin and I'm putting pressure on it. I'm putting pressure right there on the center and I'm tapping around it. So that's kind of like hammer on dolly. If I had a spoon dolly where I could get up in there, that's what that's kind of called. When the dolly's not touching, and you got the dolly just below the metal and you're tapping on the metal, that's dolly off. All right. Bad crease. What you don't want to do is you don't want to knock a hole in it. That's why you don't use nothing sharp. If you knock a hole in it, now you got to weld the hole up. And then you're going to cause more problems. Somebody's probably going to say, all the time you got fixing that fender, you could have just bought one. Yeah, you're right. But this is for the guys at home that don't want to spend $375 for a new fender. They want to try their best to get it fixed by doing it themselves. Therefore, they feel they have accomplished something because they've done something that they've never done before. They got out of their comfort zone and they try to do a little bit of metal finishing and do some hammer and dollying and get it out. Now, yeah, we could have sanded all this down, caved and paved it, blocked it, and been done with it and say, yeah, we fixed that dent. Well, you really didn't. You just caved it. You just covered it up. And a lot of people do that, and that's okay. If that's all you can do, that's all you can do. And if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Now, would I fix this? Would I fix this for a client? It just depends on their budget. You know what I mean? If the rest of this fender was garbage, the bottom was rusted out and all that, I would just throw it away or just keep it for patch panels and buy a new fender. But this is for the guys at home that don't have or don't want to spend $300 on it, but they got time, which time costs money, but it's your time. And then you can have a self of worth saying that, man, I fixed that all by myself and I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't whoop my ass out of a wet sack if you tore a hole in the bottom of it, but I fixed that dent in that fender and I'm proud of myself. That's what this is about. That is what this is about. We got a bunch of it. We got a bunch of it out, boys and girls. We got a bunch of it out. Let's see if anybody. I'm sure it looks pretty kinked at the top. Oh, this right here, yeah. This up here, oh yeah. This right here, this is hammered. This is hammered right there. That right there is kinked. Look, I mean, it's bowed right there. I mean, that's why this fender's not getting used on nothing. You know what I mean? I wouldn't fix this fender. I'm saying if this wasn't here, and this is the only thing, you can fix it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's kinked. I mean, look at it. I mean, the forklift, they destroyed it. But it still has a lot of good parts. Like, I could cut the bottom of this fender off and I can fix another fender if somebody wanted. I could take the skin off of this one, put it on another one. But again, price of replacing one versus fixing one. The way I look at it, if it's going to cost more than 60% to repair a fender versus buying a new one, I'm going to buy a new one. But this whole thing is for somebody at home that wants to try to fix a dent and they want to get behind it and fix it. This is kind of show them that they can do it with just basic tools. Again, this is not, I'm not saying that this is not fixable, but you'll spend days trying to get that out. I'm just more concentrated on this right here, try to show just a little bit on basically you can get this stuff out with just a little bit of tool. Just a little bit is all this is about. That's all. Now, this is E-coat. What's on this fender is E-coat, right? And according to the manual, if this is a brand new fender from Automotive Direct or wherever you get it, and this is an E-coat, you can see eventually it'll break down, right? But say this is a brand new fender, they say you can hit it with a Scotch-Brite, wash it, hit it with Scotch-Brite, seal it, paint it, be done. All right? Yeah. There's a dent right there too. lot of it's out, but there's a bulge right there. We're gonna try to get that out just a little bit. That's probably within reason right there to put filler on it. If we put a straight edge on there, if it's less than 3/16 of an inch, they say it's okay to put filler down. You know what I mean? Trying to find a straight edge. Anyways, so the things is, I've got new fenders that came right out of the box, dented during shipping. So new. Hey, John, that's what happened to this one. This one right here was brand new in the box, brand new fender, brand new. Came in, crushed. Called Autometal Direct. They replaced it. They sent me a new one. I said, you want me to send this one back? They said, no, just cut it up, use it for parts, use it for demonstration purposes. I mean, it's hammered. I mean, you couldn't salvage this fender. I was just trying to show that if you can get behind it, if you have a fender that had a dent somewhere, you could get behind it and hammer and dolly it to get some of it out, and then you can put filler down and fix it. If you didn't want to get behind it and do that, you could have caved and paved it. You could have just swiped across it and been done with it. But the thing about it is you try to keep it, there we go. You try to keep it, you know, within margin, right? So you can see there, you can see the dents, right? You can see them, all them dark spots is dents, right? So if we take this straight edge and we scrape it across like that, you can see that there's the dent. And I mean, she's pretty gnarly, right? But as long as it's less than according to 3M, as long as it's less than 3/16, you can fill it with filler, with body filler, or Bondo. Bondo's a brand, you know, but it's called filler. But you got a dent out here too, and then you can see right here, that's pretty gnarly right there, right? Dark spots are your low spots. That's why I appreciate showing guys how to fix what they got. What's up? Pretty key. What's up, Thule? Dark spots are low spots. Yeah, all these dark spots are low spots, right? Dark spots, right? So, on new panels that come in with E-coat, I strip them down to bare bones. I strip them. I take every bit of the E-coat off. And why do I take the E-coat off? Let me show you. I'm gonna show you why I take it off. I just stepped on my hat. Let me show you. All right, look here. This is a brand new hood, right? Brand new hood, all right? Look, this is a brand new hood. I already got those pieces done. Y'all noticed the other day I still got to come back and do some more finish work, but I got them welded up solid. I'm gonna radius these corners just a little bit. I don't like sharp edges. I gotta clean that up a little bit. I'm gonna radius these corners a little bit because I don't like sharp edges, right? Even though manufacturers got sharp edges, I don't like sharp edges. Thule is going live at 6:30. He's going live too. So, but yeah, so I got that piece done. I got this piece done. But this is why I say that E-coat. This is a brand new hood, right? I took this hood latch came on the truck. Now watch. Look, rust. This is bare bones. There's nothing on that. Look, that's rust. Brand new. See, brand new hood. This thing's not been in the weather. It's not been nothing. It's rust. So when this thing was made and it was put together in raw form, they powder coated or electrolysis, E-coat, that's what it is, a leak coat, that's rust. And if I sand all this and you don't put a 2K epoxy down to seal it, over time, you're going to start having rust drips run out, and you're going to like, why is that rusting? It's like that. It's already bad enough in between the panels, right? Already bad enough in between the panels, right? So there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of controversy on putting body filler over bare metal. Drop it down in the comments what you think. Do you think body filler? I'm not talking about fiberglass. I'm talking about body filler. Do you think body filler? Do you put body filler over bare metal, or do you put an epoxy down and then let that dry and then put body filler over top of that? We're not talking about fiberglass. Fiberglass is waterproof. According to the can, it's waterproof. But what do you do? What's your steps? What do y'all do? Let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Manic would never own bare metal. Always epoxy bare metal. Bare. Watch. Lord have mercy. Don't bring that man's name up in here. He's a certified master ASC. He's certified. I'm not putting another man down. If that's what he does, that's what he does. But I will go to his defense a little bit. I don't know what he posted. He posted a while back. He posted a while back. He posted his credentials a while back, right? What's up, Scoot? Like I say, depends on the quality you want. Yeah, it depends. Hey, I don't even know how to say that. SCYTHE. You right. It depends on what you want, right? So, since he brought up Bondo Billy, he puts body filler over bare metal, okay? And I will, to his defense, I will say this. A few decades ago, they did teach that, right? To put body filler over bare metal. We taught it at the college. So he's not wrong there. But technology has changed, and just because we done it 30 years ago doesn't mean it's the same thing to do it now. Because what is in body filler? Peroxide. What does peroxide do to bare metal? Right? It causes, so think of it like this. Think of it like this. When you have your body filler and you add the hardener to your body filler, those two pieces of product, those two chemicals, those two entities, when you put them together, they create heat. And heat creates what? Condensation, causes moisture. So if you was to take and swipe this with body filler, you're putting body filler on bare metal. Body filler is a porous product. It says it on the can, porous. What does porous mean? What does that mean? That means that it is porous. That means that it is transparent. That means that water can get from point A to point B through that foundation. That's what porous means. Think of SpongeBob the sponge. If I got a sponge and I put a sponge on my head and I put water on the top, it's going to drip through to my skull and it's going to be wet. That's what porous means, right? Not Boris, like on Bullwinkle. Not Boris, porous, right? So, if you put body filler over bare metal, it is porous. Everything is porous above that. That seeps down in there. If you spray wax and grease remover on it, if you get water on it, condensation, hot and cold, you will get moisture underneath there because it is exposed. Moisture will cause surface rust. Surface rust is a living organism. Surface rust will grow at 50% humidity within 15 minutes. Facts. 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 I got it in the book over there. I'll show you. It's facts. So, now, do people do it? Yes. Do people argue about it? Yes. Am I going to argue with somebody if they tell me, well, I put body filler over bare metal and I've been doing it for 30 years and I ain't never had no problem? Well, congratulations. If it works for you and your clients are okay with it, then get after it. I'm not judging. I'm just telling you the chemicals of it and the physics of it. Physics don't lie. Physics don't lie. Body filler is porous. Body filler has peroxide in it. If I put peroxide on this bare metal in that chemical, it is going to cause rust. I promise you it will. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Now, fiberglass filler is supposedly to be waterproof. I don't trust it. I still don't trust it. I epoxy, right? I epoxy, right? So, but I will show you this. I will show you this. U-Pole makes a kit that they give out to body shop techs, right? They make a kit so when in collision repair, they make a kit. I don't have any. They give a bunch to the school and we try them out and they're junk. In my opinion, they're junk. They make these kits, right? U-Pole bought out this company and they make these little kits that if a technician would go up and say, hey, look, I got a bumper repair or I got this, I got that, they'd give you these little kits, right? Google never lies. Right? Okay. Books are not always facts. Books run on old technology or old information, right? JG, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just going to say, in the old textbooks, it said you could put body filler over bare metal. The new textbooks say you can't put body filler over bare metal. So if you're still running on old information, it's not, you're not doing it wrong. You're just, well, yeah, you are doing it wrong because you're running on old information. If somebody tells me today, if I learn something today, this is how I'm supposed to do it. And in 6 months from now, I find out that there's a better way, a newer way, there's more technology, there's more discovery, there's something that adds to what I learned 6 months ago that helps me out better to do my job and not have failure, then the new information is right. The old information is just outdated, right? So, what's the can say? It's reversed. Oh, it says, I'll turn it around. You don't know what you don't know. Oh yeah, that's right, Mac. You don't know. All right, so this is what this is, right? So what I was saying is U-Pole bought ISPO, or however how you say it. They bought this company out, and we used to get a bunch of stuff to the school, and it would come in like little packages, right? They'd be little boxes, and they'd have man, I wish I had some. I'd show you, but I don't have any. But anyways, what it would have is it would have enough product in one box to fix a small dent. So like this dent right here, right? It would have enough product to fix this dent. You would have sandpaper, you'd have tack cloth, you'd have body filler, you'd have hardener, you'd have everything in that box to fix this dent, right? So the way we were told that because it's a European company, they said that you would go up to the service writer or whatever, and they say you have a dent to fix in the fender, and they would look at the estimate, they would look at the dent, and then they'd say, oh, that's a 2-box kit. And then they would give you 2 boxes, and there's enough stuff in that box, those boxes, to fix that dent. And it cuts down on waste, it cuts down a lot of stuff, since it's an aerosol can like this, you can spray it out in the shop that's open, blah, 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 whatever, right? So this I wonder if the quality of steel makes a difference. It's possible. I mean, but steel, raw metal is going to rust. I mean, my table, I mean, this table here is cold rolled, right? And it all used to look like this right here. And this table is a year old, and you can see where it flash rust. And every now and then I'll have to prep it and then see, like, this is flash rust. Where's flash rust? Because it's raw metal. I mean, that's just what it does. So I don't even know where I was at. So this stuff here in these kits is enough stuff to do all this, and it comes in little packages, and everything's like pre-weighed out, and it says if you put 2 packs of body filler together, you need this much hardener, blah, 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 whatever, and then you just keep digging on with it. Well, this is not a 2K primer, right? This is not 2K. Anything that comes out of a rattle, well, let me be careful what I'm gonna say. This is not a 2K product. This is a 1K product, right? Gives a smooth top coat durability base for top coats, right? It is a 1K product. Anything that does not have a catalyst in it is a 1K product. It says provides a perfect base for you choosing the paint finish. Ideal when using iso fillers. It sprays on easily. It dries perfectly. Smooth finish, ready to paint. Ensures to feel the area is fully dried, clean from and then it says that you can shake the can for 2 minutes, hold it 10 to 12 inches, spray the surface, light even strokes, spray light cover coats. When touched to dry for 30 minutes, applied a light coat, allow surface to dry completely before choosing to paint. Okay, let me tell you something about this stuff. All right, if you spray this stuff, right, and you go to wipe it down with wax and grease remover, say if it's done if I spray this on here right here and I let it completely dry and I wipe it down with wax and grease remover, it's coming off with it. It will flat take it off. So we started having a lot of problems with it at the school. Boss man said, nope. He gave this stuff away, says not gonna use it because it just failed. Now, that's just in my opinion. That's where my experience, that's where I seen it happen. So I'm not 100. If you have great luck with this stuff, keep digging, right? Keep digging. But I put this stuff on a warmer, on a plate, to warm it up, and it comes out. Let me find me something to spray on. Spray on this box. I mean, it sprays good. I mean, it has a good wide pattern, everything. So on this panel here, I'm going to spray this on here just for demonstration purposes. So if somebody goes back and watches this video and they say, well, you said don't put body filler on bare metal, and there you go, you put body filler on bare metal. You kind of contradict what you said. So I'm gonna wipe this finger down with wax and grease remover, and I'm gonna get all the dust off of it, and I'm gonna get it clean, and I'm gonna spray a little bit of this primer on there, and then I'm gonna throw a heat gun on it, and I am going to, like I said, I'm gonna put a heat gun on it to dry it, and then we're gonna mix up some filler, and we're going to spread some filler over it, then we're gonna put a little heat gun on it, and we'll do a little bit of blocking, okay? This is wax and grease remover. It's probably gonna turn black. Like I said, make sure your area is good and clean. Now I'm going to show you a trick so you don't wipe your trash right back into your panel. All right. Take your rag, you fold it, you wipe one direction. All right. All right. Then you flip it over, wipe one direction. All right. Then you fold it the other way, wipe it one direction. You take it, flip it the other way, wipe it one direction. Try to get as much off of it as you can, okay? All right? Any questions so far? Let me see where we're going. I need you to double. If you are a true C-Team fan, you know what. Okay, we did. I hate people. All right, so again, 2K epoxy, but I'm not going to waste 2K epoxy for this. So if you have a primer, a name brand primer, now they sell 2K in a can like this that has a thing on the bottom that when you turn it, it ruptures the catalyst in the can. Then you got to shake it for like 5 minutes. And then you got so many hours to use everything in that can. And then you throw the can away. That is a true 2K system, right? This is just a primer. All right? But I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. I don't want to waste no 2K. And I don't want somebody to say that he put body filler over bare metal and he told you not to, all right? So, nice even strokes. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. I'm gonna turn this fan on. Make sure you got a paint mask on. Nice even coats. Don't hammer it on there, because if you hammer it on there, you're going to spend a lot of time it drying. So we want this stuff to dry so I can apply filler. So it's still got a little bare spots. I'll show you. All right. It's still got, you still see some bare metal, right? Still see some bare metal. You see the dent's pretty good, right? All right, etching primers. All right, so Jimmy's got a good question. Etching primers. Etching primers have their purpose and their place. You have to be careful using etching primers and new primers together. I can speak from experience. PPG etch primers and PPG primers and epoxies do not like each other, especially CRE 321, CRE 921, CRE X21, and Vibrance 2050 line. If you put down etch primer and you spray CRE 321, 921, which is a 2K epoxy, or CRE X21, which is white, or Vibrance 2050, which is their Vibrance line, which is a 2K primer, that shit will crawl off on the floor. I know that for experience, and it does not say it in the piece sheet. And in 2012, that's when that happened. Reached out to PPG and told them. They said we'll update the piece sheet. They have still not updated to this day, and I get multiple text messages and messages on Facebook Messenger asking me, hey man, I had this problem. Matter of fact, I had one the other day. Guy sent me a list of stuff this long that happened, and the paint guy at the store told him he could put etch primer down and use a 2K epoxy over top of it, and he did that. He came back the next day and the shit was crawled on the floor. He called me because he found one of my YouTube videos about CRE and said, hey man, my paint rep or the person at the paint store said basically said, the paint guy at the paint store said, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, okay. Did it fail? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, this is why it failed. If you don't believe me, do another panel, do it this way, do it my way, and see if it fails. And call me back. 3 days goes by, he calls me back, and he said, you was right, he was wrong. And I said, I'm just telling you, man, most people in the paint store don't know what they're talking about because it's not their fault, they just don't have the training. Got it nice and covered. And the problem, and I'm not talking bad about them, they just don't know. How many people have went into the parts store to try to get something, in the parts store, and they say, what you drive, what's it for? I got a 2005 Chevrolet pickup truck, 2-wheel drive, 5.3. Does it have a sunroof? Well, I need spark plugs. Yeah, but does it have a sunroof? Y'all know the story, right? Y'all know the deal, right? And my thing is this. Most people behind the counter, they don't know anything anyway. And I hate to say that, and I don't want to be condescending or arrogant or whatever, but they don't. And it's because they just don't. Now this is just a heat gun. I'm trying to speed this process up a little bit. You weren't caught on one of those. Yep, sounds like AutoZone on it. All right, so the only thing I'm doing right now is I'm just putting a little heat to it. I mean, I got it about 70 degrees in here, but can y'all see that? Is those lights too bright? Y'all want me to turn one of them out? What y'all tell me, because I definitely don't know. Who knows the difference between mechanical and chemical adhesion? Anybody know the difference? The price. The price of what? The price of what? Do you worry about using a heat cause the panel warp, or are you just doing it with? I'm not. This thing is not going to generate enough heat to warp this panel. This panel is probably not over 70 degrees. And the reason why I'm doing this is to speed the process up to dry this primer. Now, I mean, if I was to put it down, I mean, this thing is not going to generate enough heat to cause any damage to this panel anyway. Now, if I put a torch on it, now, I mean, that'd be different. But I'm just trying to speed up the process of drying this primer out. Okay, let's see what Jimmy said. Mechanical sanding and chemical, the reaction of the parts. Okay. All right, Matt, kind of go. All right, hold on. One is a chemical process that gets the finish you desire. The other is a mechanical is manual. All right, anybody else? That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but that is right. So you got a mechanical adhesion window and you got a chemical adhesion window. Does anybody know what that is? I believe we're good. I believe we're good on that, boys and girls. I'm gonna turn this fan off. What's the difference? Y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what the difference between mechanical and chemical adhesion. We got some good input so far. Let me set this over just a little bit, let it cool down just a little bit, and we'll go from there. And anybody, let's see. $188. I gotta get something to put this on. Y'all hung tight. Let me see what we're saying. I can't see. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna read you the official definition of the difference while that's flashing off just a little bit before we go to the next step. All right, mechanical. Page 188. All right, right here it says, okay, it says, a grinder with 80 grit disc may be used to remove the paint on a high crown steel panel. Grinding will leave deep scratches in the metal. The filler will anchor into the scratches. This is called mechanical adhesion. Because the heat produced by the grinding causes a panel to warp. Use an 80 grit sanding panel on a low crown steel panel and all aluminum panels. The scratches created by the sanding with 80 grit sandpaper will also anchor the body filler by mechanical adhesion. There are two types of surfaces that filler can be applied over: bare metal and epoxy. This is an older textbook. So bare metal or epoxy primer. For corrosion protection, some manufacturers will recommend that filler be applied over epoxy. If epoxy primer is to be used, remove the paint from the area to be filled, mix the epoxy, spray the primer, and spray over the recommendation number of coats. After epoxy primer is cured, it should be sanded with 320 grit to provide scratches for mechanical adhesion of the body filler. Okay, so that is mechanical. All right, now we're going to look up chemical. All right, page 661. That's what it said, but it ain't there. Chemical. All right, right here it says, in refinishing process, it says, taking proper precautions measure it always easier than fixing the damage. When grinding next to glass, cover it so weld and blank sparks keep the grinding sparks from damaging the glass. Adhesion. Adhesion is a term often used in refinishing. Adhesion is the chemical of two substances to bind together. Chemical adhesion occurs when one substance bonds to another through the interaction between atoms or molecules through the chemical reaction of those atoms or molecules. A base coat bonds to sealer through chemical adhesion. In a mechanical adhesion, the roughness of the surface allows the liquid of the top coat to flow into tiny grooves and the scratches and grip onto the surface. For example, when a surface is sanded, the sanded scratches allow mechanical adhesion of the paint. When preparing a surface for refinishing, always choose the least aggressive methods to do the job. That is the difference between mechanical and chemical adhesion. All right? All right? Makes sense? Oh, hold on. Let me catch up. All right. All right, chemical adhesion can be used in electric to get the fire finish. So mechanical says rough or grit. Yeah, that's what I took from that too. All right, so now let's answer this question amongst us. I just sanded this panel, right? I sanded it with 80 grit, all right? I sprayed a little bit of primer, which we use not a 2K because we're doing demonstration purposes. So we got the 2K primer, we got the primer down, right? So this is still green. And what does that mean? Green means it's still open, right? So it says that we need to sand this to give it some tooth so the body filler can fit. Body filler can grab a hold of, correct? All right. So that's what it says, right? So that's what we're going to do. But what we're going to do is I am going to put it on a soft pad. I said I was going to put it on a soft pad. Oh. There it is. So I'm not going to run the DA on this. Well, yeah, I am. All right, so here's the interface pad, right? Interface pad. You need a heat lamp. Yeah. A UV lamp? Yeah, I need one. I've been looking at them. So this is the interface pad, right? There's no need in blocking this because we know there's got dents, and that's our objective, is to fix the dents. So I'm gonna give this thing just a little bit of tooth. I ain't gonna do too much because I know there ain't a lot of primer on this, and if we get any bare metal showing, you need to come back and spot prime it, but I'm just gonna knock the top off of it. Woo, that didn't take long. Cut through that like nobody's business. Y'all don't look at that bare metal. Don't look at the bare metal. Let me get my brush. Now, since there's bare metal showing, if you got bare metal showing, you need to put some epoxy over it so you don't have no bare metal. But tell you what, I'm gonna mix up a little bit of filler, and we're gonna spray this. And I've been warming the filler. And when you say, what do you mean you've been warming it? I got the filler on a warming plate or on a warming pad. So the filler is up to temp. The filler is up to temp. The hardener is up to temp. So I'm going to weigh out some filler. I'm going to come over there and we're going to spread this stuff like we're making a cake. And it shouldn't take long to dry. Woo! Let me show you, boys and girls. When I tell you this filler is silky smooth. Look. Boy, look at that right there. Look. Look at that. That stuff right there is like, look. When you warm your filler up, look how creamy that is. Ooh, that's creamy. All right, Jonathan, Jonathan 669. You know your job, buddy. You know your job. Handle it. All right, boys and girls, we about to make a cake. Now this should kick like really fast, like really fast. All right, so I weighed this out. I weighed this out on the filler. I weighed this out on the scale, and look how creamy that is. Look at that. She want to run off the table. All right, now I'm gonna back this up a little bit so I can. I know there's a dent here and I know there's a dent here, so I'm going to swipe this whole thing, right? And if there wasn't a dent here, I would run a piece of tape on that body line so I wouldn't lose my body line. But I'm going to swipe this, and I'm going to swipe up here at the top, and I'm going to swipe from here to here. Now, this is how I mix filler, right? Y'all looking? Y'all paying attention? Here we go, all right? Boy, that's creamy. And you weigh your filler out, because that's what it says in the instructions. It's 2% of the hardener. And if my pad was bigger, and you just keep spreading it out. Until it's consistent. I'm slinging this stuff. I'm slinging that stuff like a crack man on Friday, boy. All right, I say that's good and mixed. Look how creamy that is. My first coat is my grab coat. I'm not worried about shaping it right now. I'll get that in a second. I'm putting pressure here, and then I'm let off the pressure because I know where the dent's at. So I'm trying to fill the dent in, but I'm kind of making the dent go away, because if I just put filler right here, it's gonna be a bump. Like I said, I'll come back and I will dress everything that needs to be dressed. You're like, daggone Jay, you caving and paving. Over half of this will be swiped off anyway, like sanded off. Don't be scared to put it on there, because you're going to sand it off anyway. I'd rather do it. I'd rather have a lot on it now. I'd rather have a lot on it now and not have to come back and do it 5 or 6 times later, you know what I mean? Go ahead and get it off where you don't want it. Get it off where you don't want it. It's easier to get it off now while it's still pliable. The dent's there, so I want to try to build it high where the dent's at. And then when I come back and shape it, I can shape my body line the way I want it. Y'all ever seen a motor grader on the road, on the state? That's how you need to do it. Get your edges sharp. Or don't, excuse me. And you just, I'm just lightly, just done. It's done. And when I say it's done, it's done. See how it grabbed like that? It's kicked. And I'm not really worried about it because once I hit it with 80, so kind of opposite of drywall, the primer strip makes it look crazy. The top kink bad still. Oh, it is. Look, 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 look. That right there is bad. That's garbage. This right here, that's garbage. I'm not worried about this. That's garbage. I'm only worried about this. See? It's garbage. All right? Yep, it's garbage. It's garbage. Now, here's something that people don't do. They wait until too long. Go ahead and clean. Go ahead and pull your strip off. All right? Go ahead and pull your paper off. And go ahead and clean. Go ahead and clean your spreader before it gets too hard and it's flaky. You'll go ahead and get it off, get it close, getting it off. All right? Take some wax and grease remover, spray some wax and grease remover on it. Get you an old daggone microfiber cloth. Look at her. Bam. Done. Done and done. See? Go ahead and clean it. Go ahead and get all of it off. Spray some wax and grease remover on it. Wipe it down. Wipe it down. All right? All right? Done. Now, let me show y'all another trick. Y'all know that, hold on, let me catch up with the questions. Hold on, let me see. If you, hold on, let me go back. All right, hold on a second. Let me sit down. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna help us out, right? And somebody mentioned I needed a UV light, and I'm gonna get me one. But let me show you, just for educational purposes. Not educational purposes, just for speeding the process up. Let me show you. Heat gun laid like that right there. Lay a heat gun down. Shooting across that panel. Blowing hot air across that. That thing will be the cat's meow in just a few minutes. And let me turn this fan off. And let me catch up on the questions or comments or whatever while that's doing that. All right, hold on a second. Okay, got that. What's up, Joseph? I wish I had the patience to paint cars and do good body work. It means a lot. I got an 87. You got an 87 Cuddy? You got a Cutlass? Is the warm? Okay, I'll show you the warmer here in a minute. Keith B. You would want it both, mechanical and chemical. I do the same thing. Yeah, man, if you warm that stuff up, man, that stuff goes on a whole lot easier. That's 3M Platinum Plus. 03313. I'll go show you here in a second. But I'm actually looking at U-Poles filler. 3M has went up again. It is $100 a gallon. I remember buying it at $27 a gallon or $30 a gallon. It's now $100 a gallon, and they say that U-Pole is $32 a gallon. They say it is equal to 3M, and I have not used it personally. I want to know if anybody has used it and let me know what, real world feedback, not some review that I read on Google. I want somebody that actually uses it and says, yeah, that stuff's good, or no, that shit's garbage. Because if it's garbage, then I'm not going to use it. If it's good, then I'll use it on my personal stuff to see how it works out before I use it on a client. But I will give a client an option and say, hey, look, this 3M Platinum Plus is $100 a gallon. This U-Pole is $32 a gallon. I can buy 3 gallons for this one. You sign off on a contract saying that you want me to use this U-Pole, it's all on you, baby. If it crawls off like a rattlesnake, that's on you. That ain't on me. Let's see. John, I'm not sure. What's up, Fernando? Yeah, the primer strip. Yeah, so it's kind of... I might... All right. I thought more of paint work. 3/16. I know some people go 1/4 inch, but I think it says on a can 3/16, Jonathan. I'll go look and see. This is really good. It's gonna help me when I get my body work. What's up, 95? Okay. So let me go over and show you. Let me get up. So this is 3M Platinum Plus. It is 01131. And when I said a plate warmer, didn't want to do that. All right, you see this? Body filler and clear coat warmer. Well, yeah, and I also take the rattle cans and I set them on it too, like that, to warm them up. Here's this other stuff that was in some of those kits, like plastic bumper filler to fix bumpers, stuff like that. Let me show you. I got a bunch of that stuff left over. I actually use it for a fire starter, honestly. So here's the sandpaper. It's got rolls of sandpaper in it. I know. Oh, here's one. I'm using the box. All right, so look here. Right here. So see right here, this right here, it says body repair kit for holes. This right here is for body pre-measured filler for easy mixing, body filler for holes, fiberglass reinforcement, body filler easy to sand. It contains 4 body fillers, blah blah blah. But so it kind of shows you step by step, 1 through 6, blah blah blah. But again, this is on, and they got different ones. They got red ones, green ones, blue ones. But luckily I had a box because I throw all this stuff in there. This warmer, I could not tell you what this warmer cost, and I apologize for that, but it is from Killer Tools, and it is a body filler clear coat warmer, part number ART79. That's Alpha Romeo Tango 79. And I was gifted this by a subscriber. But I do have a tip on that. I was told by a subscriber in Canada that follows me on Facebook. Oh yeah. That follows me on Facebook said that they use battery warmers because he's in Canada. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Jonathan's got it on there, 7850. So appreciate that, Jonathan. He said that he uses battery warmers because he lives in Canada, and he said that they use the same thing that they wrap their batteries with up in Canada because it's cold. He said he had his whole table lined out with those warmers on the table, and he had his body filter, his primer, his catalyst, all that stuff laid out on the table because it kept it warm. So I'm gonna grab some stuff, and we're gonna get to the second part of this. So y'all hang tight. I gotta check something right quick, and then we'll get after it. Okay. So, there's all different types of blocks. Oh yeah, she's good. We good, go. We're gonna get to it. So there's all different types of blocks that you can use. You can use anything for a block as long as it's straight. There's Dura blocks that you can use. There's, as long as it's straight and true, you can use it. And it also depends on, you can use a paint stick, you can use whatever. It just depends on how much you want the panel, right? How straight do you want it? How nice of a job do you want, right? And I'm just going to show you a few things that you can use, right? You can use a piece of tubing, right? It's straight, right? You can use a paint stick. You can use a Dura block, but see, right? Or you can use an acrylic block, right? You can use whatever you want to use. You can even use a DA if you want to. That is completely your choice. If that's what you want to use it, right? Do whatever you want to use, right? So you have an open window time of filler. The problem with a lot of people, what happens is they put filler down and then they go away and then they come back 3 days later to block it and they say it is hard as nails to block and that stuff sands like crap. Well, here's the problem. The reason why it sands like crap is because you didn't follow the instructions. One, you didn't weigh it out, and two, you didn't get it right there between the work time. You have 4 minute setup time, then you got like a 20-minute or 8-minute work time, and then you got a paint time. So the faster you can get on it, the easier it's gonna sand, right? So, you need a dust mask. I'm not gonna put one on so I can talk. Now, this is 80 grit, right? This is 80 grit, right? So the thing about it is, some people start with 36, some people start with 40, 80, 80. That's as far as I go. Now you use whatever you want to because you got to get rid of them scratches. See how easy that's sanding? Look. See how easy that's coming off? Look. Ah, I gotta hold it. I normally strap this thing sideways, but you won't be able to see it unless the camera's above me, and I can't put the camera above it. This is what breaks people right here. Sanding. This is why most people just say, piss on it. They grab a DA and they try to DA it, and they're done with it. Now, this filler is going to shrink some and suck down, which that's expected, because you can't put it all in one, you can't get it all in one time, all right? So we're probably going to have to come back with some feather feel to get the low spots. But once I get the top knocked off, I'm gonna guide coat it, and then we're gonna go from there. Now I'll probably take the DA and feather these edges out. But over the dent itself, right here, I'll use a block. Now, these are my block. I mean, this is what I prefer. But you can use whatever you want to, as long as it's flat. And again, somebody's probably going to say, why didn't you just buy a fender? Well, this is for the average DYI person that's doing it at their house, in their garage, underneath their carport, under a tent, under the street light. This is for them, because maybe they want to try to do it themselves, right? Maybe they don't want to spend, $300 and some on a new fender, because they would rather spend that $300 on something else. Plus, it gives them a little bit of sense of, I've done that myself. Now, when we come back on the final thing, when I do the feather feel, I will pop a piece of tape, and I will block up to the line, and then we'll radius it like that. We might not finish. Let's see how long we've been on here. 91 minutes. We might not finish tonight, so might have to come back tomorrow or come back Thursday for part 2. But I won't be able to do it tomorrow. So maybe Thursday come back for part 2 and finish it. But I want to at least get most of it blocked down. And I have round blocks. I have an ellipse block. I've made blocks. Like, you can't buy everything. Sometimes you have to make something. You know what I mean? Make your own block. Let's see. Yeah, I would work a double, save up for high rise. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So you could, you could buy. Now again, would I do this for a client? If somebody was coming to me and wanted me to fix their vehicle, honestly, no. I just buy a new fender. Because the cost of me fixing it versus buying a new one is not economical for that person. You know what I mean? But for somebody to fix it themselves, it is economical for them, because therefore they can and I need a dust mask. They can fix it themselves, and they've accomplished something. But if somebody was to come here with a vehicle and they had a fender that was like this, I would replace it. I'd buy a new one and replace it, because they'd have, it just wouldn't be feasible. Because my shop rate, it wouldn't be feasible for me to fix it. You know what I mean? It'd be cheaper to replace it. And I hate to say that, but that's just the way it is. If it's gonna cost more than, if the repair is 60% more than what it's worth, then it's gonna get replaced. That's like when you wreck your vehicle and the insurance company totaled your vehicle. The reason why they totaled it is because the repairs are 60% of what the value of the vehicle is. It's not what you think it's worth, it's what the book value is. So if you got a car that's worth $5,000, the insurance company, and you got $3,800 worth of damage to it, they're gonna total it. They're not gonna fix it. That's why stuff gets totaled. Now you can buy it back, and they take it away from your money, and then you can fix it out of pocket. Now, you can do that too, but that's all on you. That's how insurance company makes all their money. Everyone watching, I joined this because, what's up, 84? I learned so much here, and everyone works together in question. What's up, Classic Car? If I miss anybody, I apologize. So, I'm trying to knock the head off of this thing and kind of shape it. And I'm not going past my body line. I'll show you with the camera. I'm not going past. This line right here is crisper than a crispy crisp. It's cooler than a polar bear's toenails. And I'm not going to get over that until it's time to finalize it. All right? But right now, I'm running the contour of this fender, because this fender does like this. And I'm shaping it, and I'm working it out. Anybody know the difference between a thermostat and a thermostat? Anybody know the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat? Who knows the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer? Anybody know the difference? Never has on me if I'm busting. What now? I can't. I gotta work. I can't read. I'll read in a minute. Anybody know the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer? I almost got the top knocked off. And then I'll guide coat it, and then I'll block it, and I'll get it about 60% or 75%, and then I'll drop down to like 180 paper. All right, a thermostat, make sure I tell you this right. A thermostat, temperature. When somebody walks into the room, you can feel the temperature of the room, right? So when I'm gonna use myself as an example. If I walk into the room and I feel the temperature of the room. And there's two types of people in the world. There's people that are temperature people, and there's people that are thermostat. And the reason why I say that is this. People that are temperatures, they walk into a room and they adjust to the temperature if I walk into the room and the room's got bad vibes or whatever, and that room is affecting everything in that room, then that affects me and blah, blah, blah. So I absorbed the temperature of the room, and I brought that onto myself, and therefore I let the temperature of the room control me. Does that make sense? So if you let the temperature of any situation control you, then you're not really in control anyway, because you let everything around you dictate your temperature, your attitude, your behavior, how you respond to stuff, blah, blah, blah. But if you're a thermostat, doesn't matter what room you're in, you set the temperature of the room. No matter what's going on in the room, you change the temperature of the room because you demand it, because you are the thermostat. That's the difference between temperature and a thermostat, in my opinion. So, which one are you? Are you the temperature or are you the thermostat? Which one are you? Which one are you? That's just my opinion. Everybody got an opinion like they got buttholes. So I'll come back with a DA and I'll feather these edges out. But we getting there. We getting there. My man. I know you are. I know Thule is, because Thule says in his videos, don't worry about getting yours. Don't worry about if the man, he says this, not in this exact words, but this is what he says. Don't worry about if somebody else is getting theirs and you're not getting yours. Don't worry about if the man down the road is getting his. You will get yours when it's time to get yours. It might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 15 minutes, but you're going to get yours. So just keep doing it. Is that what you say? Is that what you say? I be listening. I be listening. Boys and girls, we about got this thing whipped, other than them edges. Oh yeah. Don't hate on it, wait on it. Hey, I heard something else. Hold on, so let me think. I heard something else too. What do you say? Well, somebody said, don't disrespect. Oh, I have to think about it in a minute. This is what breaks people. This right here, body work. They can't stand it. You either got it or you don't. You either with it or you ain't. Because I'm telling you, if your shoulders, that's why I say the president of No Fingerprint Club. Last time I got fingerprinted, they give up. They said the hell with it, because I ain't got none. My fingertips are gone. All right, I'm gonna take the DA and I'm gonna feather these edges out. And like I said, I'm gonna feather these edges because we're going to come back and spray more primer. But I'm gonna feather these edges out right quick, and we're gonna go from there. And like I said, let me feather these out right quick, and I'll show you. And all I'm doing, I'm just feathering this edge out. That's all I'm doing. I'm just feathering that. If you can catch it with your finger, you need to feather it. said, I'm just feathering the edges out. I want to show you what I was doing. Now, I did not sand over this. I still got a little high right there, but let me show you. It says, oh yeah, I should be wearing a mask. I said that many times. All right, so I just feathered this out. Now, this is bare metal, but that's the E-coat. And that right there is the primer that we sprayed. You see that? I feathered that out. That edge is feathered out, right? Now, I still got to block this, so I didn't run over this with the DA. This is feathered out. Now, we'll come back and epoxy everything. But these are feathered out. But this filler is not over bare metal. It is over that primer, right? So now I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to guide coat it, all right? And all guide coat is go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go to Walmart and get you some chalk powder. Blue chalk powder for a string. You don't have to buy this miracle. You don't have to buy it. Just go get you some chalk line. Put it in a daggone sandwich box or sandwich. Put it in a sandwich container. Go get you a little brush and you'll be okay. So now the guide coat is going to show us where our low spots are and our high spots are. So now I'm going to run 180, all right? So now I'm running 180 grit, all right? And where we at on time? We at 100. All right, so this is guide coat. So guide coat is definitely going to, now since we guide coated with 80, now all the scratches, all the 80 grit scratches have guide coat in them. So now I have 180. We're going to take 180 and we're going to get rid of everything that we can get rid of. All right? Y'all see how fast that's going? Everything that's dark is a low spot. Shiny metal is a high spot. a dent, there's a dent, there's a dent, there's a dent. That's the dent we were dealing with earlier. I've seen people mark dents with Sharpies. Don't mark them with Sharpies. Sharpies will bleed back through your paint. Use a pencil. Don't use a Sharpie. Don't use a pen. Don't use anything with liquid. Use a pencil, a number 2 pencil. I'm gonna change to a different block. It's too long, I can't control it. I can't control that block the way I want to control it. So I'm going back down to my small block. That drives some people crazy, having those tails. I had one person they lost their mind. No sharp oil, but yeah, people shouldn't be allowed to say anything. I don't know. What y'all talking about? So we almost there. We're probably going to get, let's see, 60. We'll probably go, once I get all this done, we'll probably stop. And then we'll talk, answer some questions. Like once I get this done, we'll probably take about 5 or 10 minutes to do some questions, Q&A, and then we're scheduled to come back Thursday and finish it. Because Wednesday I can't go live. I can't go live at this time on Wednesday because I got to go to the gym. Because we changed our schedule. Because there's so many people at the gym. So we started going on Wednesday night because most people are in church on Wednesday night and not packed, and the gym's not packed. So. And then after everything's done, we spray it with a high build 2K high build primer. Let it set for a couple days. Come back and block it. It should be good as snuff and half as dusty. I'm gonna feather that edge out right there a little bit better on that edge. Won't hang tight. what we have is we almost so what you do with a dent, you're making an illusion to get rid of it. You can't build it right here because you have a bump. So you kind of, and I got a lot more filler on here than needed because I knew I was going to block over half of it off. But we getting there. I've skimmed whole cars before. I've been, like when I worked at Petty's, man, we skimmed whole cars. All right, let's see. Hold on, let me catch up. And you can't feather edge with a DA after blocking. It's like waves and yeah, okay. I just said I was feather edging that corner because it was a little high. And then I'm going back and blocking it. Let's see, let me catch up, hold on. Let me catch up. Let's see, hold on. He's sanding too much in one spot. Man, I'm not sanding one. I'm gonna answer that question. Trey, you're saying I'm sanding in one spot too much. So let me ask you a question. So if you watch from the very beginning, you'll see what we're doing. Me sanding in one spot is right here. I'm not sanding in one spot. I'm sanding the whole panel. And if you watched it, I put guide coat. So guide coat is exactly what it is. It's a guide. It lets me know where I am and where I'm not. So when you guide coat it, and as I'm guide coating it, right, and the guide coat goes away versus where it's at, that lets me know my 80 grit scratches are gone and that panel is flat. We started with 80, now we're at 180. Once we do that, I'll come back, I'll sand these edges right here with 80, I'll re-skim these with feather feel, and then I'll re-block it again. So, he wasn't in here then. Yeah. All right, let's see, too much filler on that. Yeah, JG, I did put too much filler on the edge. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I stopped it right there. Good afternoon. All right, so this is where we at. So, like I said, this is 180, and this is an acrylic block, right? Now, some people use these blocks, which is fine. They use them, which is fine. Some people use paint sticks, which is fine. Some people take a piece of tubing, wrap the tubing. I wouldn't suggest it because you got that sharp edge, and that sharp edge will do that to your panel, and then there you are. So I wouldn't recommend using a piece of tubing. Some people use wooden dowels. Some people take a piece of 2x4 or 1x4 or whatever, but some people have used paint sticks. Let me show you what I mean by that. They'll take a paint stick. They'll take some sticky paper. They'll take some sticky paper like this, right? And they'll pull out some sticky paper. They'll take a paint stick, right? They'll lay the paint stick in there like that right there, right? Like this right here. They'll lay a paint stick in there like that, and then they'll fold it. So the paint stick is actually wrapped in paper, and this is not a wrong way. I used to do it years ago before I was shown a different way. So now you have a paint stick that has paper on it, right? Okay. And some people take the paint stick, put it in their hand, They lay it in the palm of their hand like this. So you got the whole weight of it on your hand. So they're running it on that middle. They're running it on that middle finger and in the palm of your hand. All right. Now, the only problem with a paint stick is the paint stick is flexible, right? So it's flexible. It's gonna ride the wave. Like he mentioned with the DA, it's gonna ride the wave, right? With this Durablock, you know, it's wavy too. So if I go to put it down and I'm trying to get the block, if I'm trying to get the dent, watch what it's doing. So that's the dent, right? That's the low spot. So I want all this stuff to be flat. And if this is a low spot, I don't want the low spot to mess with the other spot. But watch what happens. If I put pressure on that block, and look what happened. Can you see that? So if I got pressure on the block and the block is pliable, right? And I'm driving it across the hole, what happened? The head of it fell down in the hole. You see that? Now look, now it picked back up. This block is now wavy like a snake when I actually need it to be flat, right? So let me show you. I need it to be flat. So let me show you. With these acrylic blocks, right? These acrylic blocks, they are flat. See that? They got a backbone and they have a spine. They are flat. You see that right there? Look, if I put that thing on there like a straight edge and I pull it over, y'all see that? I got daylight, right? I got daylight on both sides. I got a daylight right there and I got daylight right there. So if I'm trying to block over two dents with a long block, if I'm trying to block over with a long block and I'm letting the block do the work, I'm not pushing the block, I'm just holding on for the ride and I'm blocking over it, that flat edge is going over the hole. And then if I had all the guide coat on here and all the guide coat is gone and I have a low spot here and a low spot because it's discolored, those are low spots. Now, there might be enough meat on the bone here that I can keep blocking to get this out. That is probably true because I got a lot of filler on here. But if you start breaking through the bare metal, right? If you start breaking through bare metal and I'm still blocking, trying to get this to go away, I'm not getting this to go away. I'm digging a ditch because I'm already at metal and you can't go through metal. You can't do it. It won't let you do it, I promise you, right? The filler's there. That's what it's for. The filler is to make the transition because we tried to get as much dent out as we could because it's in a bad spot. So once you block everything and it's consistently flat all the way because we blocked it with guide coat, the guide coat is giving us a guide where we need to go from front to back, right? Then what we come back and do, and we just fill in these sections with filler a little bit higher. Then we block these out the same way. We go 80, 180, and then we guide coat the whole thing again, and then we block it again. And then you keep doing that until it goes away. And then when you get down, when we think it's pretty much gone, we switch over, we guide coat it again, and we put 220 grit on. We block it out the length of the panel to get everything out of the way. And then we come back and spray high build epoxy or high build 2K epoxy primer, which builds up to like 14, 16 mils wet, and it dries like 12 mils. And a mil is the thickness of a cigarette pack or a honey bun pack. So if we got 14 mils on there, then we come back and we block it out with 240 or 320, then we should be good to go to spray some sealer and go ahead and paint, if that makes sense. All right? So I believe I'm going to stop right there. If anybody got any questions, we've been on here for 123 minutes. So we're going to take 7 minutes. I'm going to go through the questions. I'm going to go through the comments, see if I missed anything. If anybody's got any question, hit it in the car, hit it. You know. All right. Ooh. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the input. Hey, Trey, it's all good, man. You came late to the party, and if you showed up late, it probably did look kind of weird and kind of strange, like, what in the hell is he doing? He's not doing that right. But I will say this part. Go back and watch the whole video. Go watch the whole video from the very beginning, and maybe that'll clear up a little bit of confusion that that come about, you know, in what you seen and what you didn't see. Also, I will say this. I tell all of my students this, and I tell everybody this. What's 6 plus 3? What's 8 plus 1? What's 10 minus 1? What's 6 plus 3? What's 5 plus 4? What's 7 plus 2? What does all that have in common? All that has in common is the number 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. 10 minus 1 is 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. All that has in common is 9. Okay? It don't matter how you get there, as long as you follow the basic order of operation. We're all trying to achieve the same thing, the finished product. The finished product is we're trying to get those 9s. That's what we're trying to get. So there's many, many ways to get there. As long as you follow the order of operations and the physics of stuff, you'll be fine. The way I do things might not be the way the next man does the thing. And that's okay. That's fine. Because like one of my lieutenants said in the military, if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong damn room. It's just the way it is. So, and again, there's 100 different ways you can do this. Do whatever way you want to do it. Whatever works best for you is okay. The whole point of this video, the whole point of this is to motivate somebody that has a project at their house or their house, wherever they're at, and they want a little bit of confidence in trying to fix a little ding or dent, or try to fix a ding and dent, and try themselves to do it. Whether they fail or pass, at least they tried. At least they tried. Look, my man 84 Cuddy, according to his videos, has never done anything major on a vehicle. So most people will say, hey, look, I'm going to get this vehicle and I'm going to change the wheels on it. I might put a little lowering kit on it, might tint the windows, put a little bit of boom boom in the trunk, might do this or whatever, do this. No. My man 84 Cuddy and Thule TV, what do? Hell, we're going to do a damn LS swap. We're going to do an LS swap. They just jump right out of the pot into the fire and want to do multiple systems at once. Fuel, electronics, steering, engine, spark. They want to do it. You know what? Hell, we just going to rip the Band-Aid off. We're going big or going home. And I promise you, they have run into issues that they probably thinking in the back of their head laying in the middle of the night. And there's probably a lot of people like that going, what in the hell did I get myself into? I am lost like a duck in a damn hurricane. But you know what? Everybody started somewhere. Everybody started somewhere. I didn't wake up one day and just like, poof, this is what I'm doing. I've been doing this shit since I was 15. I've been doing this for 3 decades. That's how long I've been doing this. And I do not know it all by no means. I promise you. And if somebody has a better, more effective way to do it, please share it with me and I will try it. And if it works for me, I'm going to say, hey, man, I appreciate it. That's a solid. Hey, man, you just saved me 20 more minutes. That is the whole purpose. Think of it like this. I'm Gen X, right? So I'm in between where we went for cassette tapes. I lived in a time where we went from cassette tapes to CDs. I remember that. I remember going from no internet to internet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in that realm of that. I promise you, I don't know everything. I have probably backed up to the curb more than most people have went straight in their life. I promise you. I make mistakes. I make mistakes every single day. If a man tells you he don't make mistakes, he's a damn liar, and you tell him to call me and I'll tell it to his face. I will walk up to him, to his face, and say, you a damn lie. There ain't nobody perfect. The only man that's perfect, they hung him a long time ago. They put him on a cross. If you believe that, they put him on a cross. That's the only man that's perfect. So there is no man or woman walking on 2 feet in this world that is perfect. I promise you. We strive to make perfect. But Gen X is probably, in my opinion, we the best. We the best. Because we grew up through that. So I have experienced a lot of stuff, and I want to share that. It's like a video game, right? I play video games. Oh, God, you play video games? Oh, yeah, I play video games, sure do. Life is like video games, right? This is what, you're not Gen X. Who ain't Gen X? Me? How you figure that? Michael, how you figure I'm not Gen X? Please explain to me. Drop it down in the comments. What's up, Woody? Life is like a video game, right? Let me set this down. Life is like a video game. Why is it like a video game? It's like this right here. You might be 45 years old, right? And you might experienced a lot of stuff in your life. I was born in 81. Okay? So what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with me? So you might be 45 years old, right? How old do you think I am, Michael? You might be 45 years old, right? In my eyes, you're 45. In my eyes, this is the way I look at it. 45, right? So in a video game aspect of it, you on level 45. But somebody might be 25. And they might know, they might be on level 25, but they might have the life experiences that's been given to them over their 25 years of life, that they actually have more experience than you have, and you're at 45. Now let's go the other direction. You might be 45 years old, and somebody that's 65 years old is at 65 on a video game in life, 65, and you're 45. They might not have the same level of experience that you have because you're at 45, right? But they are 65, but they're only on a 35 level because they wasn't exposed to that, right? So let me put it to you like this. My boss, how I got hired at the college, this is how I got hired. He told me one day, he says, you help that guy read a tape measure in the shop. He didn't know how to read tools. He didn't know how to 9/16, 7/16. He didn't know. And he was a second-year student, and he was struggling. So I sat and helped him learn how to do physics. I did physics 1, 2, 3, and 4. You only had to take 1 to get your degree. I took all 4 of them because I loved it. My boss, Mr. Cameron, gave me a job at the college just like this. This is how I got a job. He said, I've been teaching since 1975. He says, and this is in 2008. He said, I've been teaching since 1975. He said, I can count on one hand how many people I've run into in my life that just click. That's what he said. He said, when you help that guy read a tape measure, because you said something to him, and he told that to me because I seen y'all on the computer screen, I seen y'all on the TV screen that y'all were doing something, and I asked him what y'all were doing. He said, you will help anybody do anything. You will stop what you're doing to help anybody. This is what he said, all right? This is what he said. He says, you told that guy that not everybody's exposed to the same thing in life. A lot of people think, man, you're in automotive. You working on cars. You should know what a 9/16 wrench is. You should know what a 7/16 wrench is. You should know what a 14 millimeter is. You should know this. You should know that. Well, if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass with it hop too, right? You know what I'm saying? So just because I expect that you know, you're supposed to know, you working on cars, I look at you and go, man, you should know what a 9/16 wrench is. You should be able to look at a bolt and go, oh, that's a 1/2 inch, or that's a 7/16, or that's a 14 millimeter. Some people take that for granted because I've been exposed to that my whole entire life. You're just getting late to the game, as they say. you don't look at stuff like that, right? You got common sense and book sense, right? You got a lot of people that's got a lot of street sense, but they ain't got no book sense, and they couldn't whoop their ass out of a wet paper sack. Then you got people that's got book sense that can't do shit in the real world. They don't have no street sense. But then you got the dangerous people that have street sense and book sense, and they are dangerous, right? And you want me to tell you somebody that's dangerous that you don't even know who he is? Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is dangerous. You know why he's dangerous? Because he has a master's degree in psychology and sociology. And a lot of people don't know that. He is very, very educated. But most people look at him as a tattooed up guy rapper, blah, 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 whatever. But Kevin Gates is a smart individual. Somebody asked him in an interview one time, they said, the rumor is, Mr. Gates, that you have a master's degree in psychology and sociology. Is that true? He said, yes, sir, that's true. I do. He said, yes, sir, that's true. And he says, really? He says, I just done it just to do it. He says, if you grew up on the streets, you already have a master's in sociology and in psychology. We deal with it every single day. You deal with it every single day. You read people, you read the temperature of the room, you know how people react, you do something, your gut tells you something, that shit ain't right. That son of a bitch right there is shady as the damn day is long. I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it in my gut. Something ain't right. That is psychology. That is sociology. The people that grew up on the street sense, that we already do that every single day. Every single day. You can pick up on stuff. You can pick up on it. But then you got people that's book sense, that then you get the book side of it and you actually find out that it's a deeper thing, and you realize that's why that is because that is it. That's when you have the difference between book sense, you have book smarts, and you have street smarts. If you have any individual that has both together, they are a dangerous person. Not meaning like dangerous, like going to hurt you dangerous. They are dangerous because they see things in a different light. That is the difference between the difference between book smarts and street smarts. Something else somebody said. Somebody says, what in the world is his name? God, I just lost his name. He went on the talk show and exposed everybody. What in the world? Is it Griffin? What is his name? What is his name? Lord have mercy. I just forgot his name. I feel bad. Yeah, Cat. Appreciate that. Cat said this. Cat said a couple things. He's smart too. That son gun got like an IQ like 180. He's super, super smart. He said this. Two things. If you treat every day like your last day on this planet, like you give today 100%, you give it a 100. And when you go to bed at night and you set your little tail next to the bed and you lay down at the middle of the night and you do whatever you do, you say your prayers, you do whatever you do. But if you look at yourself and you tell yourself and you say, well, today was a good day. If today was it, I give it my best. And no regrets, and go to bed. And if you wake up the next day and you open your eyes, that's a blessing. The rest of it is a bonus. The next thing he said was, if people would stop lying and just say what they had to say and get it over with, you would get a tremendous amount of weight lifted off your shoulders. And what that means is when I say, what do you mean? I don't lie to nobody. Okay? So if somebody asks you a question, do you give them a 100% honest answer? 100%. Like if somebody asks you something and you just give them straight up and you give them the real deal Lucille, you give it to them full throttle, full tilt. I'm not saying being disrespectful. I'm saying just give it to them. Like if they ask you something like, well, in my opinion, you're asking my opinion. Now, I'm not going to criticize another man or woman on what they do. But if you ask me your opinion, I'm going to give you my opinion. If you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you. I don't mean no disrespect in it. You asked me, so be prepared what you're about to get. I will not be disrespectful. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Kat is saying about lying. When people ask you something and you lie about it to go one way, I mean, you're like, and truly inside, you're like, man, I really didn't want to say that. Now you toting that weight. Don't carry that baggage. We already tote enough shit now. Just lay it down. Be done with it. You're correct, but you're not Gen X. Oh, okay. Knowing a tomato is a fruit, but wise enough to not put it in fruit salad. Oh, yeah. Michael, it's just killing you that you don't think I'm Gen X. Russell, wife, do these pants make me look fat? Me. Well, if you eat them too, of course. But Russell, is she saying like P-H-A-T or F-A-A-T? There's a difference, man. You see, that's the difference. Is it P-H-A-T or F-A-T? You gotta clarify that. I mean, what you want me to answer? What you, man? You were eat up. Why do you think I'm not Gen X? What year do you think I was born in? JG, I like a good. Oh yeah. JG, I'm 54 years young. Well, that's cool. That don't answer my question. 89 what? 89 years old, 89 days, Interstate 89, 89 mile an hour, 1989. So you think I was born in 1989? That's what you think? That's what you think? I tell you what, I tell you how old I am. If you're smart enough, you can figure it out. I watched Tony Hawk live do the impossible. I watched that. That's all I'm giving you. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Tony is about 54. So did I. Okay. But you're wrong. I wasn't born in 89, and I'm not a Gen X. I can't believe it's just killing you. I can't believe that you just tore up that you don't believe I'm Gen X. You ain't even going to be able to sleep tonight, are you? It's just going to worry you to death. It's just going to worry you to death, ain't it, Michael, that you don't think I'm Gen X. Does egg prices what bother you too? The price of eggs, does that bother you? Answer me that question. So the price of eggs, that bothers you too? I promise you, the price of eggs is the least of my worry. I promise you the least. I tell you what, I hope I get to a point in my life when I worry about when the mailman's late and the price of eggs. I quit eating them. I promise you I'm Gen X. You wrong. You're way wrong on 89. You're way wrong. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you I'm Gen X. I promise you. I sell eggs. All right, boys and girls. We've been on here a little bit longer than I wanted to. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Double tap the screen. Make sure you go to Tulu. Man, I know I butchered that. Go to Tulu TV. Go to 87 or 84 Cuddy. Congratulations, TV, for just getting accepted into the partnership program. Congratulations on that. And I appreciate that. Jonathan, I appreciate the help this afternoon. And I appreciate y'all getting the numbers up. And we'll come back. I'll schedule it so you can hit the notification bell. We'll come back Thursday at 6 and finish up this fender. I'm gonna lock up the shop, get everything done, and then I'm gonna go over and watch Tooley's TV. I'm gonna go catch up on his stuff, and 84 Cuddy and JG, whatever. I'm a nobody. What are you talking about, man? You've been cheeky all night tonight, man. You've been all over the place, man. You like a duck in a hurricane. You all over the place. You all over the place. Man, you've been cheeky. You know what that means? Cheeky. You know what that means? Cheeky. If you know what that means, hey, there's one last thing I'm gonna say. And Warren G's song, there's a part in the song where he says that we're gonna go get some phones. Does anybody know what that means? That's your homework assignment. When Warren G and the Regulator song, when they freelanced that, and they said, going to go get some phones, does anybody know what that means? I appreciate you, boys and girls. Remember what I said, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace, something, chicken grease, I'm out.